Welcome back. This is episode 160 of the NYYST podcast. I am your host, Christian. As always, joined by my co-host, Chris.
Yo!
And it's that guy, Rye.
What up?
Happy New Year, fellas. Happy New Year to the listeners.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2020's been phenomenal so far.
Congratulations to Chris and his wife on the birth of their daughter
Thank you.
over our holiday break here.
Thank you.
Congrats, Chris.
California Rose was
Nope,
born.
not her name. We could call her that. Really pissed my wife off.
Oh, that's just an added benefit to it, doing it then.
Should I do background music? Beatboxing?
With your mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
Like
probably
when stuff gets intense.
Yeah.
You need a little background
no,
dramatic music.
that's a hard pass from me, dog.
Did you watch that interview, by the way, the Jeopardy interview?
Nah, I didn't
Trebek?
record it, so I missed it.
They talked about how even if you never even watch an episode of Jeopardy, you don't even know what the fuck it is, you know the theme song.
Yeah.
And whenever someone's taking too long to do shit, to think
Right.
of something, you do the fucking Final Jeopardy song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
it's
what
classic.
you should do.
So we haven't had
Okay,
original
alright.
content in 2 weeks, and you want to talk about fucking Jeopardy?
Dude, Jeopardy is
The worst
top-notch
fucking
content
game ever.
right now. Get the fuck out of here.
The worst. It's the worst game ever.
Yeah, but you want to know why it's bad for you? Because you're so fucking dumb. You don't know any of the answers.
So easy. So
That's why.
easy, bro.
You don't disrespect your back.
So easy, dude. You think you would have calmed down? You got a third kid here, and happy daddy. And
I don't change, bro.
And
I'm
it's so
consistent.
consistently
Across the board, bro.
consistently triggered. Ryan knew that I was baiting you, and
Yeah,
you took it.
He winked at me, so I didn't say
You
anything.
fucking took it.
Do you like Jeopardy or not?
I don't. It's just
You
not
gotta
something.
respect it at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that I sit down to watch every night. I was watching it the other night.
I record it.
This stupid guy, he had $1. I think he had $1 left over, and he didn't even bet it on Final Jeopardy. He bet zero.
It
Like,
was-
how-
you probably watched the weekend episode.
no, it was during the week
Ah.
because I didn't watch it yesterday. I was watching it during the week. The guy bet like he
Well, he
screwed.
was
I think-
hoping the other person probably
Maybe.
would
But-
bet all of it and lose, so he would at least win 2,000 instead of 1,000.
No, he had $1.
Yeah, but
He had
the
a
winner,
buck.
the second place gets 2,000, third place gets 1,000. So he
How
was hoping
d-
to keep his
Oh,
buck.
see, I didn't know that. But how stupid could you be? Like, the first place person had 20. Let's just say you.
Yeah, it was a runaway. It was a
He
runaway.
had 20,000. The second place person had like 4,000. So even if the second place person bet and won,
Right, they wouldn't bet anyway.
so you have to be pretty dumb to be the first place person and risk that type of money.
No, you would only risk up to what you can't lose.
Or
Yeah.
has anybody ever done that? Be like, yeah, I'm
No.
gonna take a huge gamble here,
No.
and then end up losing because you're wrong.
No, not in a runaway game. That would be foolish.
And she only bet like $1,500 or something like that. You could have taken a bigger risk.
She didn't bet enough. I know the episode you're talking about. James Holtzhauer, though, would bet up to the dollar of what he could without losing.
That's what I would do if I was in that situation.
greatest of all time tournament's coming up on the 7th, bro. I'm telling you, watch it.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Telling you, watch
Jeopardy
it.
pod.
I already know who
turn us
won.
into a Jeopardy pod?
I'll do a Jeopardy pod.
You think there is a Jeopardy podcast?
The
Definitely,
other guy
so
won.
many.
The other guy, not the Ken Jennings guy, not this new guy. The other guy,
Brad.
won. Is that his name, Brad?
Yeah. I like Brad. He's good.
He won. I already saw the spoilers.
You're a fucking dick if that's true.
Honestly, you are a dick if that's true.
You are
I
a
hate
dick
spoilers.
if that's true. If it's true.
You want to bet?
No.
You want to place a bet that Brad wins?
No.
Well, speaking of winning here, Betances on Christmas Eve decided he was going to sign with the Mets.
Great move by the Mets.
No, I have no issues with it whatsoever because I've been on record as saying if the Yankees weren't going to be interested, that would be a great place for Betances to go.
We said it months ago. I mean, we had it first.
However, Dellin said that his main priority was winning, and then he goes and signs with the Mets.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Hey, the Mets could be good, though. Let's not. I mean,
they could be good, but they're probably also still the fourth place team in that division.
the fourth place?
Yeah.
Well, you got the defending World Series champions, okay? The two-time
Young group of guys.
You got the
re-signed Strasburg.
might still add Donaldson or another.
Yeah, if they add Donaldson to replace Rendon, I mean they're pretty much.
They just added Starlin Castro.
They added Starlin Castro. They signed Will Harris, so
Yeah.
They're pretty much if they bring back Donaldson, they'll be pretty much the same team that they were. Even though I do think Rendon's a better player, replacing with Donaldson is not a big drop off.
Yeah.
So you got the defending world champs, you got the 2-time defending.
Remind me, where did Rendon go again?
Angels.
Angels. Yeah.
You got the 2-time defending division champs in Atlanta. Who do you think they got any worse?
No, I think they need to.
They lost Keuchel.
They upgraded their bullpen though.
Who did they add to their rotation?
Didn't they get Will
Atlanta?
Smith?
They
For
got
the
Will
bullpen?
Smith. Did they get and then the Phillies with Didi and who the hell else did they sign?
Joe Girardi.
They got Joe Girardi as their manager, but who was the other guy that they signed?
The Phillies.
Oh, Zach Wheeler.
Right.
So you add them to
Yeah, you're right. That's actually, you know what? The NL East has been the laughing stock for a while. I think they're going to be pretty good.
Cole Hamels went to the
Cole Hamels.
Braves.
Yeah.
Braves.
So they replaced Keuchel with
Cole Hamels.
Hamels.
They got Travis d'Arnaud, who we saw that he could be a
And
decent.
who did
Will
Keuchel
Smith,
sign
yeah.
with?
The
2
White
year-
Sox.
2-year deal?
I think he got 4
Wow.
or
Darren
3 with a
O'Day,
vesting
yeah.
option.
Will Smith. Yeah, they're
You know, I
Those are
really
pretty good.
enjoyed, at least so far, this offseason. Not only did the Yankees get the guy we all wanted, guys moved quick this year. It was fun again. Remember how boring the last 2 years have been?
was Manny Machado and Harper? They weren't even signed by now.
February.
Right? Yeah.
No, no one signed.
Spring training already.
The markets formed very quickly around these big
Harper
guys.
did his introductory press conference at spring training.
I mean, the market really formed quickly, and it was fun. It's been fun. It's been a good offseason. There's going to be some good teams next year.
None of them are going to be in the American League, though.
Yeah, and the Yankees right now, I'd have to say, would be heavily favorited to win.
I'm sure Ryan can look
Favored.
up the Vegas odds on the Yankees getting to the World, at least getting to. If you can find that, I know that it's going to have definitely the World Series winning odds. Good.
Access denied. I guess you can't
It's
pick up.
probably older.
But yeah, good move by the Mets.
The we say it all the time though. There's really no reason why the Yankees don't get to the World Series this year.
Now, let me ask you this: Betances closer? You think?
No.
No. You think they're going to stick with what's his face?
Yeah. What's his face?
The guy who ruined his entire career last season.
Well, I don't know if he ruined his entire career because he's still in Major League Baseball.
So really, you can argue though that the Mets are just as good as all those other guys, all those other teams. You said it yourself. You think the Mets have the best rotation in baseball right now?
Did I say that?
In the National League?
They have the best pitcher, definitely. But how big of a drop off do you see after Jacob deGrom? That's the big question.
Well, Noah Syndergaard has to be Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah, but if he's Noah Syndergaard last year, that he's really a low end 3.
I put Noah Syndergaard and Gary Sanchez in the same boat in a sense of these. If they can stay healthy, they will show you their true potential. Same with Syndergaard, man. He just can't stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, he's gonna be a solid number 2. I think the Mets could be pretty good next year. I do, and I think Betances solidifies that bullpen a little more.
But pretty good doesn't get them
And I think Diaz
into the playoffs, and that especially in that division.
Look, dude, you don't have a season like Diaz a couple years ago, and it's just a fluke. I think he's gonna come into his own. I think the Mets could be pretty good. Should be a fun race.
All right.
But I don't give a shit because I'm a Yankee fan. I'm sad to see Betances go. You're not at all. I think it's a foolish move, and I think it is strictly because the Yankees don't like him anymore.
I don't think it's foolish.
I think they're bad blood there, and I think they just
it's not an obvious area of need, so it's not foolish.
look at what he got, dude. He got 1 year. How much? 1 year, 10? You couldn't sign Betances for 1 year, 10? It's Dylan Betances.
Okay.
Go back to every year that he wasn't injured before last year.
They have 5 guys in that
Who
bullpen
cares?
that can close
for
on any.
1 year, $10 million, bro. Come on, you're not.
This is not a Didi. This is not a Didi Gregorius situation. There was no obvious need for Dylan Betances, and they wanted to let him. Wanted to let him go. They can let him go.
Listen, was there a need for Giancarlo Stanton? Why'd they get
We're
him?
talking about the MVP of the
Why'd they get
National
him?
League.
Why'd they get
There's
him?
a big difference. You're going to tell me
Because
a guy.
he was served up on a fucking silver platter.
Well, obviously $10 million.
Betances was too.
Not at $10 million.
Bro, they're paying Gardner more than that.
Okay, Gardner's going to be their starting center fielder.
It doesn't, but still.
Whoa,
Think about that. Think about it. A guy who was supposed to be gone 2 years ago is now getting paid more than Dellin Betances.
You're starting center fielder versus a guy that's probably, fourth on your depth chart in your bullpen?
Can you just admit to me, though, that this was not due to not needing him or the money? It was due to the fact that the Yankees don't like him.
No, I don't think that's 100% accurate. I don't think that's 100% accurate.
I do.
Well, okay, that's what
What
you
do you
think.
mean? What do you mean by don't like him?
After the arbitration
him, or
shit,
like they don't feel his stuff is worth.
After arbitration a couple years ago, after those hearings or whatever, there was really bad blood between him and Randy Levine. Randy Levine said some fucked up shit.
Right.
Betances was outspokenly upset about it. And I don't think Randy Levine ever got over it.
Hey, Chris, can I tell you a little something here? If he wasn't hurt going into the season last year, guess what the Yankees were doing? They were talking contract extension with him.
That's different, though, because his value is still on the table.
Okay? So if they hated him that much, why were they going to
This was their out.
Yeah, now it is because he's hurt.
Right.
But if they really hated him so much that they didn't want him around anymore, they wouldn't even have approached that situation with him.
Do you see them maybe returning?
He's on the roll. I'm sorry, Ryan.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you see them maybe after, since it is a 1 year deal, if Dellin looks all right, even if he doesn't, do you think the Yankees maybe take another shot at him down
Probably.
the line?
I don't know. It depends on what happens with Zach Britton because there's a clause in his contract that he could be. I think he can be a free agent at the end of this year.
Well, I think the Betances move to go with the 1 year, it was actually a really smart move.
What's that website called? Sports Track?
Spot Track.
Because I think that he knows what he's got in the tank right now. And I think he's going to have a dominant season. And he's going to get another big contract. He's going to get that big contract after this year. And maybe it is the Yankees.
I don't know. It could be. I doubt it. What does it say there?
2022 club option, but player opt out available after 2020.
Yeah. But it's weird because if
it's like a 2 year pickup or something.
Yeah, if the Yankees, he doesn't, then the last 2 years, I forget how. It's one of those funky contracts that they were going around in circles.
Yeah.
With
You know what
last
I
year.
just thought about? Remember after last offseason, there was just all those reports on owners with the conspiracy of not signing these guys. You think that had a big play on why these guys signed so early this year?
I don't know. I just think the money was there also for these guys.
Yeah, I think it was both.
Because it was just
both
completely
parts.
different.
It was both parts maybe speeding up
You
the
had
process.
who really signed though? Legitimate top of the rotation aces, right? Were those guys available last year?
No. But you also had
Also, you know what really changed?
Rendon.
Yeah. Last offseason was big on Bryce Harper not re-signing with the Nationals because they offered him a 10-year, $300 million contract right out of the gate, and he declined that, and then that whole
The
process
problem was
started.
those big guys are the market setters. And when they don't sign early, like the fact that Garrett Cole signed so early
Yeah, you're taking
really
that top
just
guy
opened the
off.
floodgates
No,
to
it
now
was
all
Steven
these.
Strasburg signing.
Well, Strasburg, yeah. But I'm just saying, in those regards, your big dogs signed quick because they were top tier aces, which isn't. It's rare to even get one top tier ace available. You had multiple, so the market did form fairly quick. I didn't think the Yankees would have signed Garrett Cole during the winter meetings. I really didn't.
Well, based on last year, I don't know how you could have felt comfortable that they would have, but that's the thing. The Yankees they wanted somebody this year. Last year, you could say that they really didn't want anybody.
Listen, Cashman proved that all this bullshit, all this talk, all this noise was just truly all bullshit. I mean, this was a guy they wanted. Those other guys were playing on their terms because they wanted them at their price. But for Garrett Cole, they saw a different value in him, just like they should have, and they gave him a blank check. And that was it. And he got the job done.
Okay, he did.
But are we going to need a fifth starter? Are the
Right.
Yankees going to try and get a fifth starter?
I think they have their fifth starter.
Who's that? Jordan Montgomery?
Well, J Happ's still on this team, isn't he?
Yeah.
Jordan
I guess.
Montgomery's here. Can bring you into your next point here about we finally learned what Domingo Germán's fate is. The Major League Baseball suspended him 81 games, but it's also retroactive into 2019, so he'll only miss 63 games this year.
How do you feel? Let's just go. Let's just talk about how we feel about it. I mean, do you have an issue when he steps back on the mound? Is it different? I know we briefly.
Bro, is he the
touched on
first
it.
bad guy to ever play
No.
Major League Baseball? Is he
No.
the first bad guy to play Major League Baseball on this Yankee team?
No.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, what he did is terrible. There's no excuse for it. There's no defending it. But what are you gonna? Are you gonna stop being a Yankee fan right now?
No. Do you think the Yankees are wrong for not?
They traded for Aroldis Chapman. Okay, so when they did that, all this high moral bullshit went away. Their sole focus was winning, was it not?
Yeah.
They didn't care about having choir boys and angels on their team. They wanted guys to win. And
Well, that goes back to your point with Betances, though. When they were going to talk contract negotiations, he was still a guy they saw to help them win. And after being hurt this year, and that being a question mark, they said, you know what, fuck it, this is our out. See ya.
Okay, so he was hurt. So it's more the injury than anything else.
No, it's more of, hey, we
And
fucking hate this guy.
Oh my god.
And he was injured.
Bro, you're being ridiculous saying that they hate him.
I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
I
don't think they hate him.
But I
Because
think
Randy
that could
Levine
have
said
played
something stupid.
a part in
The
him not being
whole
there.
organization hates him now.
No, I'm saying
The
Randy
problem
Levine,
is that he's on the wrong side of 30 coming off of a year where he threw to 2 batters. That's what the issue was. Had he had not been injured in the spring training, he could have easily inked a 3 or 4 year deal. Now the Yankees look at it as being a business. Hey, dude, you're hurt. You pitched to 2 batters last year. You're on the wrong side of 30. I'm not, I got 5. I'm 5 deep. I got Britton, Chapman, Canely, Green. Who else is out there? Ottavino. I got 5 guys that could go and close in major leagues. Why am I going to throw $40 million at you?
well,
Well,
he didn't get $40 million. He got 1 year, $10 million.
okay.
So my point is, if he signed for $18 million, that's a different story.
Is it his option or the club's option for next year? For Dylan Betances.
Oh, he has an option in there?
I think it's a club.
I didn't know he had an option, too. It's probably a club.
Player option.
Wow.
$3 million buyout if declined.
Still not bad. Still just about getting paid what Brett Gardner's getting paid.
He's your starting center fielder. What is not
Dylan
computing
Betances
with you?
is an elite reliever.
He's
He
6th
is
on
an-
your
he
depth
is
chart.
an elite reliever. Elite.
We don't know that right now.
Yes,
We're
you do.
assuming that he will
Yes,
be
you do.
again. We're assuming he will be again. Are we not?
If Garrett Cole got hurt, knock wood, next year, would you not think he was going to come back and still be an elite starter?
A little bit different.
Why?
Because he's, first of all, there's probably a lot less miles in abuse on that arm than the way the Yankees used Dylan Betances. And it was 2 different injuries, was it not? Probably 3, I think he had.
Well, he had all those setbacks.
Yeah, okay. And then it was a completely different thing that knocked him out of the postseason, was it not?
Yeah, he threw one pitch and his Achilles went flying.
And, if you're a team, aren't you looking at that and saying,
I get it. I'm just saying the risk to reward is just not.
But your
no
comparison to Brett Gardner doesn't make any sense.
There's just no risk. I'm comparing it to show you how little he's getting paid.
No, you're telling me that your starting center fielder and a guy that's like 5th or 6th on your bullpen depth chart is the same thing when it's not. We get it that Brett Gardner's probably not a starting center fielder, but that's what he's brought here to do, be a starting center fielder. You yourself said that you didn't want Mike Talkman to be the starting center fielder this year.
You think he's good? You think he'll get good playing time?
Who?
Talkman?
Yeah, I think he will get plenty of playing time this year.
I think he should.
Okay.
And you're gonna have Stanton playing a lot of left field.
Yeah, and who's going to caddy him late in games?
Talkman or Gardy, whoever's on the bench.
Well, I think Gardner's going to be a starting center fielder as long as he shows that he can hold up to it.
I think he can. He works pretty hard.
Yeah.
I think we really got lucky with Brett Gardner last year that he was able to hold up as well as he did. I don't think any of us wanted. How many games did Brett Gardner play last year? Open up another tab.
Please, tab it up. I think he played 140, man.
I believe it was 136.
Nah, he played the most, right, for the Yankees last year?
142?
141.
And he did spend a little bit of time on the injured list.
I mean, that's pretty crazy. We said we didn't want him playing over, what, 80-something? 100?
100 was probably a good number for him.
And he did a great job. So you can't be worried
And I think
about
that
him
you're
being
probably looking at him to play that amount of games again this year. Are you not?
140?
Do you have any faith that
No.
Aaron Hicks is coming back
No.
this year?
No, and people, I'm telling you right now, if you're gonna put the expectation on Aaron Hicks to come back in the same timeline that Didi did, you have another thing coming, because Hicks is not Didi Gregorius.
And Didi Gregorius wasn't even Didi Gregorius.
Right. And
Didi probably should have taken a little bit of extra time.
Hicks will have setbacks. I will actually be shocked if we see Hicks before September. I will. I'll be shocked.
I think August 1st is the earliest you'll see Aaron Hicks.
No, you're right. August 1st, he'll throw one ball into the infield, and then after the game, we'll hear that he's sore and that he's day-to-day. And then 3 days later, he'll be back on the IL.
8 to 10 months. When did he had surgery?
That was in October.
November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June,
August.
July, August. 10 months.
And then you got to tack on a month for Aaron
You
Hicks.
know that he's going to be at the back end of that
Yes.
because he's
So-
Aaron Hicks.
Right. Still, you don't regret that contract, though. They still got him on a steal, and he's still a great player.
He's good. I don't say he's great.
He's great for the money they signed him for, and he's great for this lineup. Just like you don't need Betances. I mean, throwing Hicks into a lineup that they have right now with these young guys really coming into their own, getting DJ LeMahieu.
Are you trying to say that Aaron Hicks isn't a need on this team? Because I would feel that he is.
I wouldn't necessarily say he's not a need, but it just goes back to if Betances is elite Betances, he's always going to make your team better. If Hicks is healthy, he's always going to make this lineup better.
Yeah, but a center field is more important than a relief pitcher, especially when you have 5 of them in your bullpen that can close. Correct or incorrect?
Correct, if he could stay healthy.
Especially when you have no left-handed power on this team, and this guy's a switch hitter, and he's got an elite throwing arm, which maybe he won't anymore. I don't know.
He does have a cannon. You really hope it doesn't affect his arm.
Well,
Which some guys come back stronger after Tommy John. They really do. Some guys' arms come back stronger. Some guys can't even fucking throw a baseball.
I think he throws the fastest of any center fielder in baseball. I think he throws.
Open up that tab.
there you go, Ryan. Tab it up.
Well, speaking of all the setbacks and shit, Yankees.
Aaron Hicks throws ball 105.5 miles per hour.
Good for him. He should be a pitcher.
I think he was a pitcher when he came up, or a catcher, something. He wasn't an outfielder when he first came up.
We'll open up 7
Tab,
or 8
tab,
more
tab.
tabs. and
See,
find that out.
let's figure this out.
I saw a meme on the internet the other day that there's a thing that you can hit on your phone and it'll tell you how many tabs you have open, and some guy had like 450 tabs open.
Rookie.
I actually had to clear all my tabs out the other day.
No,
You tabbed out?
Tabbed out.
I don't know. I can't find Irfan. Maybe I was thinking of someone else. Maybe I was thinking of Greg Bird, because he was a catcher, right?
Yeah.
Can't find nothing.
So you made it up in your brain?
Yeah, I was lying.
You're probably thinking of Rick Ankiel.
No, I might be thinking of him though. I mean, come on, he throws 105 from the
A lot
outfield?
of outfielders came up as pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, what's his name? Kenley Jansen. What was his original position? Catcher, I think. He was catcher for the DR in the World Baseball Classic.
Was that true?
Yeah, I'll pull that picture up.
But speaking of these setbacks,
Jorge Posada was a second baseman.
There you go.
Yankees had a little training overhaul.
There he is.
Over the last
Kenley
couple of
Jansen. Kenley Jansen, 2009 World Baseball Classic. He threw out Ryan Braun at second.
Mm.
Ryan, why don't you look up the information on the...
Do you want a new tab, or I could probably use this tab? On what?
You're
What am I looking
gonna
up?
repeat tab?
What am I looking up?
The the hire the Yankees made in their training department this past week.
I got that tab pulled up, kid.
Oh, he's already
Eric Cressy is going to oversee their strength and conditioning departments.
And what was Steve Donahue's original position? You said
He was what was he? He was the head athletic trainer, Steve Donahue. So I guess he's gonna kind of like overhaul. They're just overhauling what that position is, I guess.
They just pretty much have Stevie there just to kind of show him respect at this point. He's a little old.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with him, but I know that his role isn't going to be the same going in.
Steve, it's tough to be a training head when you can barely walk. Okay. I miss G. Monahan. Great guy.
Are you gonna read something?
I thought you were gonna take over. I was
No,
waiting
I
for you
can't.
Well, we were talking about when we broke the news on Matt Blake coming here that he worked for Cressy Sports Department.
Yes.
Performance. Was that what? Yeah. Cressy Sports Performance, and this is the guy I guess that runs that whole operation there. With he's trained people. He's trained Max Scherzer, Noah Syndergaard. Who's that guy? Corey Kluber there?
I know. Yeah, he's worked with Corey
Corey
Kluber.
Kluber. So he has a good track record and good people seem to highly respect him. So definitely a good hire in my opinion.
So the Yankees are trying to make sure that their players are
Cressy certified.
If they do get hurt, that they can get back on the field faster.
And that's the biggest goal. Everyone's gonna get. Every team's gonna have injury. It wasn't the injury that bothered us.
What's this word here?
Emeritus.
So what is that? Like an overseer? Like
just like kind of like
it's like king. You're the king.
Yeah, right. Like you're
the emeritus. You're the king. You're a knight. You're knighted.
You have no control. Just look good out there.
Just look good. Come on, Stevie.
And what are you gonna do? He Donahue joined the club 1979. He's been with the Yankees since. Served as the assistant athletic trainer under Gene Monahan.
It's just that they're allowing him to keep his title
Mm-hmm.
out of respect for him, but he's not really in the position anymore.
Pretty much what I said.
So he'll be there for appearances, take pictures with the kids, that type of thing.
Yeah. Stevie Old.
Yeah.
He'll be there. He's the head trainer for Old Timers Day. He gets his job back.
There you go. So what else? What else, bro? Huh?
Listen, man.
All right, goodbye.
It's been a fun off season for the Yankees, but it's been like a quick one. Like there's a lot of shit going on around the league.
I feel like you wanted to talk more about Domingo Germán though, like, and then you were just like moved on to something else here.
Yeah, we can get back to that because
you don't
think,
want him on the team anymore.
No. It's not that. I was just asking you your feelings on it. My biggest thing is we still, regardless of how you feel about Domingo Germán, you don't have him for 63 games. So that comes out to how many starts? About, I don't know.
10,
11?
11,
10 about 11,
Figure he
12
pitches
starts.
every 5 days. Yeah. So 10, 11, 11 starts.
All right. And do you think the Hap train has trading Hap has left? Do you think that train has gone?
I think if Cashman could swing a deal, he would. It's going to be one of those Chase Headley type deals, though. But
don't you feel like it would have happened already?
No, it doesn't. Nah. I feel like that might be a spring training type thing when teams get there and see what they might need.
Yeah.
Remember when the Yankees had to attach Brian Mitchell to get rid of Chase Headley for Jabari Blash, and then they designated him for assignment?
Yeah.
His stellar Yankee career.
Yeah. And
then Brian Mitchell, who never did anything.
So
with his life.
let's just assume the Yankees trade Hap. Okay. Is Jordan Montgomery going to be healthy and ready to go? Because
why wouldn't he be?
He was very far behind last year
but he pitched.
Yeah, but when he came up, he was very far behind.
And now he's got he's got a whole off season in spring training.
My point is, aren't the Yankees going to want to see him in some competitive games in the minor leagues before they call him up?
I don't think so. I think they'll use spring training as that sort of minor league rehab type.
Right,
thing.
you're a big. I know.
Maybe that's why they're keeping up with. Maybe that's why they're holding on to Hap right now too.
Yes, because you're a big velocity guy, and Jordan Montgomery doesn't have velocity, and it becomes dangerous when he's telling you his arm isn't 100% and he's throwing even slower. And the Yankees are going to want to see and make sure that we know the progression of spring training, how long it takes for guys to get 100%.
Yeah, but he's not been sitting around jerking off for the last 6 months or whatever it
Yes,
is.
hasn't
but
pitched in a long time
virtual
consistently.
games are much different.
He's
than,
building, yeah, but no, you see, where's the point you're probably not getting is that this is all about building his arm strength back up. So he's ready to jump into spring training and do the natural progression. Do you not think that's
Yes, but I still think the Yankees are going to want to see him.
Okay, so maybe that's why they haven't traded J Happ
Right.
yet.
Yeah, maybe.
Then that would explain that.
There's also guys like Mike King, you got Davey Garcia. Maybe they might feel you got to understand too. In the beginning of the season, you really don't need a fifth starter. You might
Right.
need a fifth starter
I
like
was
twice
thinking
in the
that.
first month, and
I
maybe
was thinking that too.
maybe they'll jerk around and go with an opener for the first month or so.
Maybe.
No, Luis Cessa's still here. We bringing up.
Jesus Christ.
We're bringing
Yeah.
up Brett Gardner, right? The Yankees still haven't officially announced the signing because they probably don't know what the hell they're going to do with their 40-man roster. How long? Look that up. When did the Yankees, quote, come to an agreement with Brett Gardner? They still haven't officially announced that signing. What?
Luis Cessa was someone who was very underrated in the postseason this past year.
That's last year.
Oh my God. I was gonna say
Luis Cessa was actually really proved something.
December 12th.
Yeah, so we're almost at a month here where
Wow.
they've come to an agreement with him, but they haven't officially announced it and put him on the roster. Now, I'm not going to sit there and go through the 40-man roster because, honest to God, there's names on there that I don't know much about, and that's why I think we should bring in an expert next week to kind of go over it.
You want me to reach out to Dan?
Yeah, we could do that.
I actually texted him the other day. We're going to start him on his segment starting in 2020, so this will be a great time.
I think we can bring in somebody like Dan to go over the 40-man roster and give
Yeah.
us a little knowledge on some of these guys that we might not know so much
I
about.
think it's a good time for it.
Look up the Yankees 40-man roster, please, tab guy.
Yeah, you're right, though. They really don't need that fifth starter for a while. Really, until Domingo comes back.
You got a guy like Brooks Kriske, Luis Medina, Luis Gill, Nick Nelson. I mean, how much do you really know about these guys? Miguel Yahur, I don't even know how to say his name.
What are they?
These are all
Andujar.
pitchers. It's not Miguel Andujar.
Yeah, but this is a pretty solid 40-man roster.
People are like, oh, you guys do a Yankee podcast and you don't even know the 40-man roster. I mean, we're sitting there, I'm trying to focus on the major, you try to focus on the major league team. How deep are you really digging into their minor leagues here? Obviously, you know the big guys, right? Tell me you never heard of Estevan Florial before, but like Brooks Kriske.
Yeah,
like,
I'm just not I'm not a big prospect guy. Like I don't go out of my way to, unless they're a big name.
Is that Dominguez guy? He's not on the 40-man?
Who?
Nah, he's too young. He's just not even. The what's his name? Jason Dominguez, or the guy they
Yeah, they don't have to
international?
put him on the
No,
40-man
right,
roster.
yeah,
They just
no.
sign them.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's these guys that you see their names like, okay, like can they be? If you remove them, obviously you have to designate any of these guys for assignment. Like, they're obviously they're on the 40-man for a reason. The Yankees didn't want to lose them in the Rule 5 draft. Is this something that they might want to trade somebody here?
I'm hearing Garcia is overhyped. That he could be more of a bait, a trade bait kind of guy, where maybe they don't want to expose him
Well, you're not going to trade him now.
like they did with Chance Adams. Where'd he go?
To the Kansas City Royals.
Loser.
It probably would be that Brooks Kriske guy. He's the oldest,
How old is he, Ryan?
like 25,
He's an old man.
It's old now for baseball.
compared to all the other guys that are up for it. I mean, unless they're gonna go with, I don't, Tarpley maybe, Luis Cessa.
I don't know. I think the Yankees see value in Luis
Me
Cessa
too.
right now.
Me too.
Especially
I think they
that-
should.
I know. It's just if you're not gonna go with an unknown prospect, then it would be maybe Tarpley or Cessa. But Cessa, no. There's
If
still value there.
you look at it just from a pure baseball perspective and take out the extracurricular stuff, Domingo Germán is going to play a major role on this team if he stays here.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And that could be another reason why the Yankees didn't feel the need to pay Dylan Betances $10 million coming off an injury-plagued year. You imagine this guy coming in here. Remember that game when we saw him piggyback CeCe, and it was probably the best we've ever seen him?
Yes.
To come in and do that?
Well, let's just talk about him as a fifth starter. I mean, what he did last year was pretty phenomenal, at least at home. When he was at Yankee Stadium, he was an ace. He put up ace-like numbers at home. So to slot him in as your fifth starter, I mean, this rotation.
I don't know. I just think by the time he comes back and gets ready, I think the Yankees might not. I think they might be setting a rotation and just figure, hey, you know what, this guy
Maybe he's more valuable out of the bullpen. I don't know. He's certainly going to be valuable in the postseason coming out of the bullpen.
Nobody is condoning what he did. It's
No.
absolutely atrocious.
It
You
is.
have 2 daughters and a wife. I have a daughter on the way. I'm married to, I have a wife as well. Nobody is condoning what he did. If anybody did that to any of our loved ones, we'd probably be behind bars right now, right? But at the end of the day, there's all types of scumbags and bad people in professional sports, right? Guys that have been actually killed people, committed rapes, murders, whatever, that go back and play professional sports, right? So basically, it's either you're just not going to be a fan anymore. You just have to root for the laundry, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
I'm not saying we don't root for individual players and that we don't have our favorite players, but at the end of the day, you're rooting for your team to win and nothing more than
everybody
that.
loves Aaron Judge, right?
Right.
You found out that he beat the shit out of some girl. You're going to look at him completely differently.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, and as shitty as this sounds, right? And don't please, I do not condone it whatsoever. But at the end of the day, if he comes up with a runner on third, Game 7 of the World Series, that's the winning run.
Yeah.
Are you booing him?
No.
Are you going to root for him to strike out right there?
No, because I think...
And that is really if you as a fan, you get put in those situations where you almost have to root for somebody like that.
Well, at the end of the day, as much as you love Aaron Judge, do you tell people you're a fan of Aaron Judge or that you're a fan of the Yankees? That you root for the Yankees?
You're a Yankee fan.
You're a Yankee fan. So at the end of the day, it's the Yankees' responsibility. It's the Yankees' obligation to tell us who we're rooting for to make the team win. And if the Yankees are going to put Domingo Germán on the field, it doesn't mean we have to like him or support him or be okay with what he did, because we never will be. But at the end of the day, the team that I root for is putting him on the field. Therefore, they're telling me that's the guy I have to root for if I'm a fan of the team.
You just hope that he pays his penance.
Yeah.
He realizes what
And
he did
never
was
does it
wrong, and
again.
he never does it again.
Ever.
Not that it takes away what he did.
No. But you hope he never does it again, because it's fucking disgusting. But
We all know what Aroldis Chapman did. I don't feel good about it, but when he's on the mound in the 9th inning, I got to get those 3 outs.
Well, I mean, it even goes down to, I don't know who it was. It was one of the worst ballads I've ever seen, but he made it public on Twitter the other day, and he voted for Andrew Jones to go into the Hall of Fame. And let's think about that. Who's worse? Who would you rather vote for to go into the Hall of Fame? A guy who did steroids in an era that everyone was doing steroids just to keep up? Or a guy who fucking beat the shit out of his wife? So now we're telling people that voting for people who
Did he do that? I didn't
yeah.
know that was he did that shit too.
I think he threw her down a flight of stairs or something.
Can you look that up, please? Because I don't want that out there if it's not true.
Ooh.
Andrew Jones?
So now people are voting for
Domestic
that.
violence.
People are voting for that, but not a guy who did steroids.
2012
There he is.
on Christmas Day.
Okay?
Eric Gordon.
So let's vote for those guys. But let's not vote for a guy who took a
same thing, dude.
substance.
Same thing.
So what kind of, because the guy didn't vote for Barry Bonds, he didn't vote for any of those guys that did steroids that were eligible. So what he's telling us is, okay, that's okay. He can be in the Hall of Fame, but we can't put in people who did steroids.
It's really tough as a sports fan. It's either don't be a sports fan or know that your morals are going to be compromised because you want to see your team win.
Okay, who's your most hated player in baseball?
Currently,
Yeah, like hated.
probably that little fucking rat out in Houston.
Yeah.
Okay, but if he came to the Yankees,
Or David Price.
if he came to the Yankees, are you not rooting for him to help the team
He's
win?
not a bad person, though.
But my point is, you hate guys. Okay, here's my
I just think
prime
he's a little
example.
shit.
Here's my prime example: AJ Pierzynski, who is a douche. He was a douche when he played.
Is he a bad guy though?
Yeah,
he could be a douchebag and not be a bad guy.
Okay, but my point is, I'm taking it down a level from domestic violence to just guys we really can't stand. When he puts on that uniform, you don't see the same guy. You see a Yankee. You see a guy helping your team. That's who we're being told to root for. So if the Yankees sat there and said, you know what Domingo did was not acceptable, we can't have him back, I would say, as good as he's been, you're 100% right. See you later. I have no problem with it. But if you're throwing him back on the field, guess what? I'm not rooting for Domingo as a person. I fucking hate him. I think he's a fucking disgrace. But I'm rooting for Domingo as a Yankee because he's being put out there as a Yankee.
I just don't. People are saying, "Oh, I don't see Domingo Germán ever pitching for the Yankees again." I do because they made Aroldis Chapman a rich man. How can you do that? How can you say one is better than the other? There's no degrees of domestic violence. It either is or it isn't.
Yeah,
and he got suspended for
Right.
Chapman got suspended. The Yankees made this trade for him,
knowing
that this was hovering over him. That's why they got him for. Please look up that trade and read off those 4 names for everybody and
Chapman?
when they traded, when the Yankees traded for him from the Reds.
Did the Yankees get him after? Did he?
No, the Reds trade when the Yankees acquired
My
him.
fault, my
Listen,
fault, my fault.
when he served his suspension for the domestic violence, was he a Yankee? No, right?
Yes.
He was.
Yes.
Wow. Oh yeah. Now it's coming back to me.
Read them out. Read them out loud.
Starting pitcher Rookie Davis.
Ever heard of him?
No.
Okay.
Third baseman Eric Jagiello.
Yeah, exactly. Next.
Second baseman Tony Renda.
And
Oh,
And
Renda's good.
right-handed reliever Caleb Cotham.
who I think didn't have a cup of coffee in the big leagues.
Caleb Cotham had a 7.4 ERA in 2016. Haven't
He
seen
sounds
him since.
KO.
Because he's got a career 7 point. He's pitched in 35 games. So this guy pitched in 35 games. Go back.
Go to the other guys?
Yeah.
Should I go to Rookie Davis?
Davis.
Great name.
He
Loser.
pitched in 7 games in 2019, so it took him all his time to get to
Okay,
the
he's
big
here
league.
though. 6.75 ERA.
All right.
These guys are
Okay.
unclickable.
Unclickable.
You can't even click him.
So I guess that means they have no big league experience. So, okay, you think Aroldis Chapman, who was premier pitcher, he was closing at the time, right? I believe they already converted him to a
The
closer.
Yankees were like, "Yo, this guy."
This guy played in 2016. Tony Renda, 67 at bats. He had a 183 batting average, 246 on base.
This guy just did.
So the point of the matter is these guys are trash. They were trash prospects. They were nothing. And the Yankees were like, here.
The Yankees were like, "Ooh, Chapman just did a desk pop in his garage, so we're gonna get him for a steal."
Can you go back to Baseball Reference and look
Yeah.
up Chapman? I want to see what he did in the year prior to the trade.
Pop.
Yeah, well, we know that.
Matt Chapman?
No, Aroldis.
Matt Chapman's still a player.
He had a 1.63 ERA with how many saves did he have that year?
Jesus, 33.
33 saves in 66 innings. So he pitched like a premier closer, and the Yankees got him for, fucking
nothing.
garbage. Why? Because he had that hanging over his head.
Pop.
Yeah. Pop.
So you tell me what was more important at the time. Acquiring this guy
Yeah.
to acquiring this
Winning.
guy to win, in which the Yankees were like, okay, we either have a premier closer in Major League Baseball or we have a super trade piece, which they had both, right?
Yeah. Because they got Gleyber Torres for him, and then fucking got him back.
So tell me, what was more important to Brian Cashman?
Winning.
Yeah, exactly. So again, what are you supposed to do as a fan? Be like, yeah, no, I just can't do it.
And what are you supposed to do as an organization if they're not going to severely penalize these guys? Then if they're still eligible, it's it's a business at the end of the day.
If you're not going to sign him, somebody else is.
Yes, exactly.
So
Exactly.
Listen, the only thing is these guys don't become your favorite players. They're not guys that you root for individually like you would Aaron Judge or DJ LeMahieu. But as a team, you're rooting for them to win.
Yeah.
And if the Yanks are putting them out there, bro, you're rooting for them.
now
Or don't. Or if that's your,
Mhm.
if you are that strong on it, which I don't blame you, and you don't want to root for the team
Yeah.
anymore, that is your opinion, and you can feel how you feel. Don't shove it down my fucking throat. That's the problem. People are like, you're fucking disgusting for still rooting for a team. No, I'm rooting for the team. And I respect your opinion not to and your feelings not to. Respect mine. I don't root for Domingo Germán. I root for, what number is that douchebag?
55.
I don't think that's right.
Who?
Domingo.
You know, I think that is right.
I think he
Chris.
switched to 55, didn't he? Because Paxton, he was 65, and then Paxton took 65.
Well, I root for
55.
number 55 when he's on the mound. And when he's off the mound, he can go fucking get hit by a bus for all I care. Because he's not a good person. Maybe he'll become a good person. That's what you hope. But I root for the guy on the mound. Helping my team win.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's really where you're at on that. You know, it's
It's a really shitty, it's a shitty position. It's tough. But at the end of the day, we want the Yankees to win.
And what I was saying is this is all the Germán situation is going to be fresh in everybody's minds this year. So they're going to be more against Domingo Germán. But no, really, honestly, every time that Aroldis Chapman takes the mound, is that the first thing that pops into your mind? Oh, he's a
No.
domestic violence guy.
No, it is for a lot of people. But
Because as shitty as it sounds, you have to separate it. You're trying to be a fan of a team, and you want to see the team win. And these are the guys that they're putting out there.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees are rolling through the first 63 games before his suspension is up. If they're rolling, if there's no issues in the bullpen, the rotation's solid, I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees try and delay his comeback as long as they can to separate what he did from our minds a little bit more, a little bit longer. If the Yankees can get by this entire year without him, will they do it? At least until the end of the year. Possibly. It's a possibility.
I don't know what his options are. If they are allowed to put him in the minor leagues and stash him down there.
He's got to have some options left.
Well, you know, we pay Ryan for something, right?
I'm getting paid.
I don't like that you're not opening new tabs.
Well,
I'm trying to get better.
you made
Spot Track's a great website, huh?
you made fun of him for it so much.
Yeah, well, after a while, you pick up on it. I agree. I have a tab problem, so I'm trying to, for myself,
Are you going to rehab for it?
looking.
Are you in recovery?
I'm looking into certain facility.
Are you in tab recovery?
This website doesn't have options, I don't think, on it. But he's only got 2 years of service time. I'm guessing he has a couple of options left.
He's got to.
You take my word for it.
All right, take Ryan's word for it.
He's got to have a few years. He's got to have a few options
He
left.
doesn't have to have anything. Domingo.
Domingo Germán.
I have to cover for him. What the fuck? I don't know. Whatever.
Do you agree with me, though, that could be something that they...
It could be something if they're really rolling and, like you said, they don't need the pitching help. If it's not broke, maybe they aren't going to try and change anything. I could definitely see that being a case. But, I mean, if that's the case and the Yankees are really rolling, because every year they have some sort of pitching issue, and even with Garrett Cole coming here, they still can use Domingo Germán. So I think when the time comes and his suspension's up, they're going to stick him in the bullpen, if anything. If they're not going to give him starts, he'll be a part of this team once his suspension's up, I think.
Probably.
Unless they're really, really
Well, yeah, but
pitching.
what's really rolling, bro? They're going to be 50 and 13 or something
Yeah,
like that?
well, I don't know. Like, as far as
He has
the
one
pitching
option
perspective.
remaining.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So,
Yeah. It makes you feel uncomfortable at times, but, you know.
But hold on, though. The option, it's only when you get called up, you can't get sent back down. So can they keep him in the minors and not call him up?
you have it.
Risk that option,
Your options are only by the year. So even if they called him up, they can still send him back down and back up as many times as they want for the year. But after this year, then that option's gone. Then he needs to either stay up or release him. I don't know though, man. This sounds fucked up, but I'm going to be honest. I'm not saying that I condone, violence in any way, whether it's domestic violence, someone else, whatever. But like when Ray Rice did what he did, right? What made it so bad?
The video.
Yeah.
Right. So like for me, I can still feel like
That's why he's not in the league anymore.
Exactly. Exactly.
If that video didn't surface, he would have got a job.
Absolutely. Because I'm not saying this isn't real and that he didn't do it. But to us, it's a lot easier to say, hey, I'm rooting for the Yankees right now. I'm not rooting for Domingo Germán. You can put him back. But if you saw a video of him slapping his wife or whatever he did, I don't think I could say the same thing. I think if I saw it, it would just change how strongly I felt about it. It would become a little more real to me. And again, I'm not saying that it's fake or that he's right or not wrong for doing what he did. I just don't think I'd have the same mindset if I saw it that I could actually root for him.
And
I think
also,
that's
and
when
also,
I would.
Sorry. The Ray Rice one was severe. Like, he beat
Severe.
the shit out of his.
Yes.
I don't know if it was his girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And then you also had Kareem Hunt was another one in last offseason where he was seen kicking a girl in front of an elevator door or something in a hotel lobby.
Is he on the Chiefs?
Yes. Oh no, he was on the Chiefs, and now he's on the Browns this year because I think the Chiefs immediately cut him after that happened last year. He was suspended the first 8 games this year, so half the season, and then he came back and he was playing.
And he's good
for the Browns. He's
a good player.
He's
Fast.
He's good. Yeah, that plays a part of it too, as screwed up as it is. Would Aroldis Chapman have gotten a job if he wasn't as good as he is? I know
No.
it's kind of
But if
messed up
that
thing to say, but it is kind of the case.
But if that video surfaced, I think it would take me over the edge.
Yeah, and
where I
especially
couldn't.
if it looked as bad as I mean, God,
I think it would
don't know.
take the
It's
Yankees
still
over the
bad.
edge too, where they wouldn't bring him back.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think so too. Yeah, the video is what really.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's like we know what you did was wrong. Nobody's okay with it, but we didn't see it.
We don't know.
It's not being shoved in your face. It's not something that people can.
There wasn't a court hearing where all this evidence came out of what actually happened. So what we have in our minds is a story that I'm not saying is not true, but it's a story that we're manifesting in our own minds, and we can't put anything solid behind it to put us over that edge of I can't root for this guy, even if he's a Yankee.
And he was suspended.
Yeah. Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So sad news. Don Larson passed away.
Donnie Larson. I think he was the last because Whitey Ford doesn't really show up much anymore. He makes some appearances here and there. But Don Larson was the last guy that on like Old Timers Day, after Yogi passed, Don Larson was the one guy you waited for.
No, you didn't. Come on.
Come on, bro.
You're making him out to be way more than what he was.
What he did was something. What I'm saying.
And you make me talk shit about the guy after he died.
Come on. Who else? Who else do you wait for?
Nobody, personally.
Right. Yogi and Don Larson were the last two. Whitey Ford, but he's not.
Do you know that if Don Larson, and rest in peace, Don Larson, it's tragic. He lived a long life.
No, it's not tragic. He had a great life.
But it's sad when anybody passes away. But let's be realistic. Now that you're going to sit there and say you waited for Don Larson to come out.
I always did love when Don Larson would come out because he did something really special, and he did it as a Yankee. And I think the fact that he was a part of who was it? David Cohn's perfect game that day. I think it was just always someone who you waited for to come out. And I think what he did this past year when he stopped, he was in his wheelchair, stopped at the line, and got up and walked out onto the field. So that was a great moment. Don Larson was someone I waited for.
Yeah.
Now it's who's left of all those Yankee legends.
He's not even a legend, dude. He
Yes,
threw a
he
perfect
is.
game in the World Series. Congratulations
Yes.
to him. But he's not Whitey
He
Ford.
pitched for 7
No.
teams. He pitched for 7 teams in 14 seasons, compiled a record of 81 and 91.
The guy was 10 games under 500 for his
Dude,
career.
he did something no one else ever has.
Yeah,
as
great.
A
That's
Yankee.
awesome. That's super.
So that puts you
But
in a
come
different
on,
realm.
bro.
But he's a very, you can compare Don Larson then to Aaron Boone.
Aaron Boone.
They have that one big moment,
Right.
but that one moment makes you
He's
a
a
Yankee
fucking
lore.
he's a fucking nobody in the realm of baseball if he doesn't throw that perfect game. He's not a
so is
great
Aaron Boone,
pitcher.
and Aaron Boone,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Look, if we're saying whether or not he was great or not, maybe
No,
maybe he
he
wasn't.
wasn't.
But ultimately, he did something that
When
no one
pe-
will ever do.
But when Chris
again.
is like, "Oh, I waited for
did.
Don Larson," I'm
He
like,
was
but-
one of the guys that I waited
But
for.
what did he? He threw a perfect game in the World Series. That's amazing. But he's not a Mount Rushmore Yankee. He doesn't belong.
No.
He doesn't belong in Monument Park.
Never said he did.
Okay, so that's my point, though. Nobody. I'm not saying like Don Larson. Yeah,
But of our
respectful
lifetime-
clap.
Of our lifetime, with
Yogi
everyone dying,
Berra?
Don Larson was the last guy that you knew was always there every year, and that was going to have a big ovation when he came out. Who's left?
People overhyped him because of the perfect game.
And I'm okay with that.
No, it's not okay.
It is.
Aaron Boone was an okay baseball player. He hit one big home run in his life.
Yeah. Biggest home run ever hit.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I think we talked about this. Yes, it is.
Guys have hit home runs to win World Series. You're going to tell me that's the biggest home run ever in the history of baseball?
Do you forget how the series played out?
Chris,
Who they
Joe
were
Carter
playing?
hitting a home run to walk off a World Series. Bill Mazeroski hitting a home run to walk off a World Series. Bigger home runs than winning a league championship series. I'm sorry, they just are.
False.
Okay, but if he did that in a Red Sox uniform, you wouldn't be saying that was the biggest home run ever hit in the history of Major League Baseball.
All right.
Don Larson, probably a great guy. I never met him. Probably a
He
great
is a
guy.
great guy.
Okay.
I've heard.
Yeah. Big dude, 6'4", 215.
Guy pitched to a
kid.
3.78 ERA.
Big-
Good major league
Yeah.
pitcher. Nobody would ever talk about him
I mean,
if he didn't
come
throw that
on,
perfect
dude.
game.
Think about how fucking awesome.
Yeah, he
that
did. It was
I know,
amazing.
I know. I'm not, no, we're not.
It didn't even.
It's
And,
not-
and if you listen to
I'm
the
just
stories,
saying, think about
he
it.
didn't even realize he was throwing a perfect
Imagine
game.
if someone
Dead
did
all
that
day.
today. Imagine someone threw a perfect game in the World Series.
Dude,
Never.
the
would
two
happen.
guys who have thrown postseason perfect games are
Yeah.
both dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, one lived to be 90, and the other one got coked up and got on a plane.
Yeah.
I want to talk about legend. Halliday was fucking phenomenal.
How Roy Halladay is 100 times better pitcher than Don
Oh,
Larson
yeah.
ever was.
He was
He's a Hall
phenomenal,
of
man.
Famer now.
Phenomenal.
Don Larson can't even sniff the Hall of Fame. But threw a perfect game in the World Series. He can't
Yeah.
even get near the Hall of Fame unless he bought
That's
a
the
ticket.
top 3 best achievements in baseball, would you
What?
say? Throwing a perfect game in the World Series?
It's
Top
an
five-
incredible,
top 5?
incredible feat. It
Come
is.
on,
There's no
dude.
doubt about it. He deserves the
Yeah.
accolades for
I'm
that.
not saying you're not saying that.
But to
pointing
go
out how
down in Yankee
awesome
lore
it
as a legend of the team, no, he had a legendary day. Just
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Aaron
but that
Boone had a
makes you
legend.
Some
That-
legend-
and Aaron
right.
Boone is a legend for that.
He had a
Some
legendary
legends-
at bat.
Some
sometimes
legends are
that's all-
made
yeah.
through.
No, a legend is Mickey Mantle. A legend is Babe Ruth. A legend is Joe DiMaggio. What this guy did in a singular moment was legendary. Doesn't make him a legend.
Disagree. I think legends can be built on a whole novel of what
Yeah, I
they
don't
put
know if-
together,
Yeah.
and I think legends can be made on one single moment if
I don't-
it's that big.
Yeah, I don't think the definition of legend is necessarily about their talent level. It's just
No,
about
if you're gonna
having
say
that moment. or
Yankee
having-
legend
There's
Don
different
Larson,
types of legend.
no, he's not a Yankee
No,
legend.
he's not. He's not.
All right.
But he
Don
in
Larson
peace.
pitches legendary game.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. See?
There's a huge difference in the two sentences, though.
See? You could fucking work for a newspaper.
Was there not
that title.
a huge difference in what I just said, though?
huge?
Okay?
Okay.
But condolences are out to the Larson family.
Yeah,
on the
after you
loss.
called him a
Yeah,
fucking
that
no
was a
one.
bit,
After you called him a fucking nobody.
Hey, the guy.
Hey, your grandfather was a nobody.
I didn't
but,
say he was a nobody.
But condolences. Yeah, you did. I'll go back to the tape.
I said what I said was
You
is
said
that
Don Larson was a fucking nobody. That's what you said.
Yeah, you might have been
did.
a bit too harsh.
Maybe I heard that's
considering.
actually on his
Yeah.
tombstone.
what should be on his tombstone.
Not-
is legendary.
Don Larson, fucking nobody.
It should say legendary nobody.
Legendary nobody. That's great.
Yeah.
He achieved more in his
Condolences.
life than I ever will. So
Right.
good for him.
That's not true, man.
You've
never
achieved
know.
a lot. Not.
But he's dead now, so everybody's gonna be like, oh, he was the greatest pitcher ever. He wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He sucked.
He had a 3.78 career ERA. He was good. He was a good pitcher.
Good. Yankee legend.
He was okay.
Yeah, the question now everybody wants to bring up is, will anybody ever throw a perfect game in the World Series again?
Man, he's been-
No one even
No.
throws 6 innings
yeah, you got
anymore.
to throw 5 innings at least.
It'll be interesting.
No, it'll never happen again.
Those guys used to throw fucking 9 innings and then go out there 2 days later and fucking.
Unless you have a guy.
Now it's like you got to
yeah.
protect his arm.
Even then, yeah. Even if he has like 7, 8 pitch innings, it's
If you
still,
look at things that will never happen again in Major League Baseball, and that's why he will live on in history like this,
Sure.
for this moment that he created, is that it's going to be almost impossible to get a manager to let a guy go that deep into
Game
a
It's
ball.
not-
7 or 6,
it's
maybe
not
when if it's their
impossible.
last start of the season.
It's
you know?
not impossible though, because there's too many workhorses left. Like let's just say Bumgarner was throwing a World Series game and he was perfect through 6.
And it was Game 6, his final game of the season.
Well, all right, let's
Dude,
go.
he's
Let's go to
coming
this.
back out.
Yankees are in a clinching World Series game. Garrett Cole is on the mound, dominating. Perfect game.
What's the score?
1-0.
Ooh. Listen, if he's that good,
He's over 115 pitches. You don't think Aaron Boone is getting fucking itchy to bring in Chapman
what year is it?
this year?
Oh yeah, you gotta take him out. You can't risk it. If he's on like his last year before the opt out, maybe you let.
And
him
we're
blow
not
his arm
talking.
out.
We're not talking about like he's at 99 or 100 pitches. He's over 120.
Well, he's laboring then at that point, so he's not as dominant as
Yeah, I
you,
wonder
as you would think.
how many pitches down Larson.
probably 400 because they all threw.
I don't even think they did fucking pitch counts back then.
Somebody probably did it though. There's guys that do this. Like they go back in history and
Yeah, they just played that game on MLB
tabulate
Network.
pitch counts.
They
90
tab
Shut up. He threw
97 pitches.
Jesus Christ.
Larson needed just 97 pitches to complete the perfect game.
They were all strikes.
Good for him.
And only one Dodger batter, Pee Wee Reese, in the first inning was able to get a 3-ball count.
Legendary game.
Don
Legendary game.
Lawson.
Don Larson goes down in legendary fashion
But what else will never be touched?
as a nobody.
Cal Ripken's streak will never be touched.
Never,
No.
ever. No one will even
that
come
one,
close.
That
ever.
one's probably even more.
I think it's more
Agreed.
likely you'll see a perfect game in the
Yeah,
World Series
I do
before
too.
you see anybody even
You wanna
remotely
know
get
that
close.
Cal
No one.
Ripken's feet.
Can you find out who has the longest consecutive game streak currently in Major League Baseball? I bet you it's not even at 500 games right now.
Dude, it's probably not even at a fucking 200. It's probably not even at
think that's
200.
right?
I think what Cal Ripken did is the most
Freddie Galvis?
fascinating thing.
Alcides Escobar. It was Alcides
was
Escobar
Escobar.
last year. I'm trying to find it.
As of July of last year, Alcides Escobar had a 421 game consecutive game streak that was snapped.
What Cal Ripken did,
That was-
in my
this was-
opinion,
I know.
is the most impressive thing.
I guess we can go.
Think about that, man. Unreal.
Again, somebody who's overrated because of a streak.
Cal was good though.
Yeah, he probably belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't have the streak, he's not looked at as an all-time great, though, like that.
You don't think so?
Probably not. Look up his numbers, Ryan.
Who's this now?
Cal Ripken Jr.
I think Cal's better than you think he was.
Billy Ripken?
Billy. Hello, Billy.
He had a career 96 WAR. That's high.
Yeah,
That is high.
Career stats. Yeah.
Career 276 hitter. It's not great. Didn't hit 500
Played
home
so many
runs.
fucking games, though.
How many career RBIs did he have?
Look at that. 161.
He was a compiler.
Career RBI.
1695, 1600 runs scored. Great player.
OBP a little low.
What's his career on base percentage?
340.
Maybe doesn't get some Hall of Fame votes if he doesn't have the streak, though. It's fair to say.
Oh, absolutely. But that streak means a lot, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what else? That's it?
I'm done. I want to
Okay.
get back to my baby.
Bye.
That's how we're going to close the show.
Okay. Chris wants to go.
Maybe leave us a rating and review on iTunes.
Yeah, Ryan, what about that?
Where's your physical tab?
Yeah, your physical tab.
Guess you.
No, I was gonna, but I didn't have a pen, so I also didn't time the episode either.
Great.
Real nice.
Real great.
I thought it was New Year, New You, Ryan.
New year, new you.
Next week I'll be starting
New year,
my
old
New Year's
you.
resolutions. Next week.
I think What did I want to say?
How many tabs we got?
Forgot what I was gonna
4,
say
5,
here.
6. Only 7 tabs.
Only 7 tabs. Yeah, but you clicked in
7
and out.
tabs and 3
Yeah.
different windows.
Oh God.
You clicked in and out.
I wanted to do so many more too.
All right, so I think that's something we can look into next week. We'll reach out to Dan Federico, see if he wants to hop on, go
Absolutely.
over the little Yankee 40-man roster business here, because really now we're past the holidays, we're past the hot stove, and now we're just waiting for spring training to get here, and we gotta
Which it'll be here before we even fucking know it.
figure out shit to do.
Isn't it crazy how quickly it just fucking comes
Oh,
back?
it's so fast.
That's what I love about when the Yankees have a
Where does the
decent
time go?
when the Yankees have a decent run in the postseason. It shortens the offseason
Yeah.
by a lot.
Totally. Definitely.
All right.
Definitely, dude. Definitely.
So follow us on Twitter at NYY Sports Talk. Yes, please leave a rating and review on iTunes. Go to-
Subscribe on YouTube on the
Yeah.
tuber.
Dude.
All right, thank you for listening to episode 160 of the NYY Sports Talk podcast. Stat Guy Rye,
Go Yanks.
Chris, say goodbye.
Peace.